just 1 minute for this screen to write it later on. Here we have an acceleration, a force over m. The forces that is acted by m1 is at tension minus 5. So t minus 5 over m1, which is a 3. So A is t minus 5 over 3. A second one, the acceleration is a tension minus F, the gravitational force, over the mass 1. So we have a second equation, A equal t minus 10. Then two equations with two variables, we can find A, which is 2.5 meter per second square, and the tension, which is 12.5 in Newton. Now let's talk about the last, this example here. Here now we have two masses, but one of the mass that is moved on an inclined surface. We have M1 is 5, M2 is 4, there's a friction force 6 Newton, and an angle theta or alpha, it is 30 degrees. So here it is 30, 5, 4, and if the friction here is 6, here we have a tension for the string, here we have a tension for the string. Now, here you have to know that an acceleration is not perpendicular on the mass. It is perpendicular on the earth. So this is the direction of M1G. It's not perpendicular on the mass, so I will not draw it here. This is false. The gravitational force is perpendicular on the earth. So this is M1G. So let's now draw the free body diagram. For mass 1. This is mass 1, okay? Here we have a tension on the x-axis. And here we have a 6 Newton on the y-axis. Now, here we have an M1G as you see in this side here. Look here, this is the free body diagram. So here we have a tension, here we have 6, here we have M1G or the gravitational force. But this one is inclined or resolved by an angle. So I need now to resolve it here. I will say M1G cosine sine 30. Here is 30 is not here, sorry. It has to be here on the x-axis. So M1G sine 30, and here we have an M1G cosine 30. So that's mean for M1 we have an tension here. To the left, it's affected by two forces, by 6 Newton and by M1G cosine 30. Now, downward, we have an M1G sine 30, but I didn't use the downward. It will be neglected. Only I will talk about an action and the resultant force on the x-axis. So an acceleration is a force over the mass. A force is here, the net force on the x-axis. It will be what? Tension minus what?
Minus cosine gravity?
Yes, minus M1G cosine 30 minus 6. This is an net force on the x-axis for m sub 1 over m sub 1, which is 5. This is a first equation here. Let's talk now the second one. The second one here, which is m sub 2. For m sub 2 here, we have an tension upward and F gravitational downward. So A here is the forces that's acted on m sub 2 is T minus Fg over mass, which is 4. So A is T minus the gravitational force, which is 4 times 10, which is 40 over 4. This is our second equation. So from the second equation, we can write 4A equal T minus 40. So T is 4A plus 40. Let's replace now in equation number 1. In equation number 1, we have A is T, but replace it with 4A plus 40 minus 6 minus M1, which is 5, times G, so it is 50. 50 cosine 30. Let's see, 50 cosine 30, which is 43.3. Over 5. So 5 sub A, 5A is 4A plus, let's find this answer here. 40 minus 6 minus 43.3 is negative 9.3. Okay. The answer here was 40 minus 13. I'm sorry here, but I forget. I make something wrong here, some mistakes here, because I solved yesterday, but I don't have a negative acceleration. Here we said that a mass is inclined by 30 degrees. If you look at this triangle here, we have a 30 degree. So it is a 90 here. So here it will be 60. So the angle, so the M1G, it will be inclined by an, it be angled by an x-axis by 60 degree. So here it has M1G sine, a cosine 60, not 30. Okay, is it clear why?
Yeah, I was wondering how did you get that angle?
Oh, why didn't tell me so, sir? Why you are waiting until now?
Because I thought that maybe I understood something wrong.
Oh, here it has to be 60. Type, okay, so here I have to change. 60. So here it has to be M1G, M1 5. So it has to be 25 here. Where? Ah, here. The others, is it clear why? Here, it was, I repeat here. Here we have this, it's inclined by 30. So if it is here 30, we can say here is 30, or you will say that here I have this triangle. If here is 30, here it will be 60. So the angle between an x-axis and M1G is 60. So when it's be resolved, it will have to be M1G cosine 60 and M1G sine 60. So now 40 minus 6, which is 40 minus 6 minus 25, it has 9, positive 9. So for A plus 9 over 5. Then 20. 5A minus 4A is 9. So 21A equal 9. So A, it will be 9 over 21, which is 0.42 meter per second squared. This is for an acceleration. Then I need to find T now. Let's substitute in any equation here. We say that T is 4A plus 40. So 4 times 0.42 plus 40. You will find that attention here is 41.7 Newton. So here we have masses on an inclined surface. It's angled by an 30 degree. It says it's angled by 30. So here the angle between M1G and the x-axis is 60. So I need now to find or to write, as we did before, I need to write now the acceleration for, or the equation, acceleration equation here for m sub 1 and m sub 2 for attention and for an acceleration. For an acceleration here for the mass sub 1, we have a 6 friction here, we have attention, here we have m sub 1G, here since we have here a 30, so this angle here it will be 60. So in this x-axis here also we have an m1G cosine 30. So we have attention minus 6 minus m1G cosine 60 over mass 1, which is 5. Then T minus 6 minus mg1G cosine 60 over 5 is an acceleration. I need an equation. I will go to m sub 2. For m sub 2, we have attention and we have m1 or m2G. So tension minus m2G. M2 is 4 times 10 is 40. So 10T minus 40 over an m2, which is 4, equal A. So from this equation, I have a T 4A plus 40 equal tension. Then I will replace this tension here in the equation number 1. I said 4A plus 40 minus 6 minus, it was 4a plus 40, got it here, t, okay, which is 4a plus 40 minus 6 minus 25 over 5. So 5a is 4a plus 9. Then 25a minus 4a, which is 21a, equals 9. So 8 will be 0.442 meter per second square. Since an acceleration is 0.42, the tension, it will be 41.7 Newton. Do you have any question?
Teacher, I should always align the tension on the x-axis so that I neglect all vertical forces, right?
Yes.
Teacher,
Yes, Habiba.
in the equation A equal t minus 40 over 4, from where did you bring the 40?
This is Fg, which is m2 times g. This is the gravitational force. We know the gravitational force is m2, or the mass, times 10. 10 times a mass 2, which is 44, you will find it as 40.
And A equal 4a plus 40 minus 6 minus 25.
Here I replace this one, which is t, the equation number 2. I replace it in equation number 1. Look here, AA, t, I wrote it as 4a plus 40 minus 6 minus m1g cosine 60, which is 25.
Thank you, teacher.
Is this clear?
Yes.
أكيد. Sure, Habiba?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. The others, do you have any question? And here I have all the 7 students, so alhamdulillah.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay.